Welcome to your deep dive of the geo boundaries of the engagement server of the mobile fabric. In this lesson, we will take you through the installation of the enhanced engagement demo application and show you the steps to receive the notifications from the geo boundaries that are set up. Please refer to the chapter 1 of this track if not already done, as chapter 1 covers the steps needed to create the geo boundaries and also explains the concepts of the geo boundary monitoring. It is highly recommended that you review the previous tracks of this tutorial if not already done. It is assumed that you have access to the engagement server of the mobile fabric and also have configured the engagement server with the GCM or the FCM key that is needed to send the notifications. This demo application uses the geo boundaries that are already set up in the previous chapter. Let us quickly review the 3 geo boundaries that were already set up. There are 3 geo boundaries that will be used in this demo application. Log in into your engagement server and then click on location under engagement tab. You will see that there are 3 geo boundaries that we will be using in this demo application. They are test with custom business logic, test with local client notification, and test with notify engagement. As you may recall from the previous chapter, each of these 3 geo boundaries are set up with different client actions. Let us look at the first one, which is test with custom business logic. For the location, I have chosen the location of where I am right now so that we get the notifications. The location name, as you can see, is called as test with custom business logic. It has got a radius of 2 miles, and then the client action for this is custom business logic. You also see that I have actually put a little bit of JavaScript code here that gets executed on the device. Now, this particular JavaScript code, as explained in chapter 1, takes a look at the start time and the close time of a particular store and then checks to see if the current time is less than or greater than the start and the close time and displays the notifications on the device accordingly. So if you were to go to the store when the store is open, you're going to get a 10% off coupon, and if you were to go to the store after it is closed, then you will be just notified of the hours when the store is going to be open. Now let us look at the details of the next geo boundary. The next one in the list is test with local client notification. Now this one also has got the same location as to where I am right now, and then this has got a radius of 3 miles, and this geo boundary helps us to test the local client notification client action. Now for this one, we have just set up with a simple message called as this is a local notification and welcome to the store. Similarly, we have the same metadata as what we have seen in the previous geo boundary, which has got the store open time as well as the close time. Let us take a look at the third and the final geo boundary next. The third one is what is called as test with notify engagement. Now this one uses the client action of notify engagement server. So for this particular client action, the demo application notifies the engagement server of its location as to where it is at when this particular geo boundary has been entered. Next, let's actually install the demo application. Refer to the chapter for the URL from where this demo application can be installed from. You will see that there is a binary in that particular URL, and we are going to be using this particular binary called as KMS demo APK. Next, we can go ahead and install this on this particular application using the adb install command of the Android SDK. This is just one way of installing this APK file. If there is any other preferred method that you would like to choose to install the APK, please feel free to do so. Once the application has been successfully installed on the device, launch the application on the device. Once the application has been successfully launched on the device, enter the URL of your engagement server as well as the application ID and the sender ID. Once all the 3 fields are entered, click on done to go to the next screen. In the next screen, you'll have the option of entering the first name, last name, email address, and the mobile number of the user that you're trying to create. This screen will also create the subscription. Once all the information is entered, click on done, and then you will see a dialog that says the user details have been added successfully. Click on OK. You'll be navigated to the next My Preferences screen. Just click on done. The next screen will also have an option to monitor the geo boundaries. Now, as soon as you click on this demo application fetches all the geo boundaries which are within the radius of interest and then invokes the SDK function to start monitoring those geo boundaries. As you may recall, the 3 geo boundaries that we have set up earlier are based off the location that I am at right now. So as soon as we hit this geo boundaries, custom logic code gets executed and you will see a notification. So this particular message that you're seeing on the screen comes from the geo boundary that is being set up for custom logic execution. Since the store is open at this point, we do get this particular message saying welcome to the store and then a 10% on all the items. Click on OK. Next, we'll click on one of these geo boundaries to look at all the details. I'll just click on the first one. As you can see on the screen, this basically shows all the details as well as the location of that particular geo boundary on the map. You can see the radius, the latitude, longitude, as well as a client action for that particular geo boundary. Click on back to go to the previous screen. Next, click on map to see the location of all these geo boundaries on a map. When you zoom out the map, you'll also see that there are 2 circles. The first bigger circle is the radius of interest, and the second green circle that you see is the refresh boundary. You will also see the pin with number 3. There are actually 3 pins conditions there, the numbers 1, 2, and 3. Again, as you may recall, we set these 3 geoboundaries with the same center, and hence there's one pin that is over the other. Hence you can see only 3. Otherwise, there are actually all the 3 pins located right there, 1, 2, and 3. Click on the list to go back to the list of all the geoboundaries. Next, to test the local notification, click on the geoboundaries again to start monitoring of the geoboundaries and immediately put the app into the background. This will cause the local notification to be triggered since you're already there in the geoboundary that is being set up for the local notification. Now you can see the message here that basically says this is a local notification and welcome to the store. This is exactly the notification that was set up for this particular geoboundary, as you may recall. Next, we will test the last of the geoboundaries, which is test with notify engagement. As you may recall, the application that is monitoring the notify engagement type of a geoboundary will need to update its location once it enters into that geoboundary. To test this particular type of the geoboundary, we are going to set up a segment which is going to use this particular geoboundary, which is location-based segment, and we will also set up a campaign that is going to use this particular segment. To create a segment, click on segments under the engagement. We will call our segment as check notify engagement segment. In the conditions for the attribute, we are going to choose location, and the value is going to be test with notify engagement. In the execute conditions by, we are going to choose match all conditions, and as you will see, the user count here gets updated to 1. Click on save. Once the segment is been saved, let's go to our campaigns. To create a new campaign, click on campaigns under the engagement. Click on add campaign, and for the campaign name, we will call this as check notify engagement campaign. Set the campaign start date and the campaign end date. For the time zone, I'm going to choose the Eastern time zone where I'm located at. Click on next, select users to go ahead and select the users. Here I'll choose the segment that we just created, which is check notify engagement segment. Let's move on to define the message. I will choose the push message channel. Click on the compose message to start composing the message. Choose the application name for which this subscription was created. So for the message name, I'm just going to type as test notify engagement message, and for the message itself, I have typed as this is a message from check notify engagement campaign. Click on save to save this particular message. Click on save campaign to save the campaign and have this campaign to run. As you can see, the campaign is successfully running now. Also on the device, you see that we received a push notification. As you can see from here, it says this is a message from check notify engagement. So the campaign that we started successfully identified that this particular device is within that geo boundary and hence qualifies for that campaign and pushed out a push message that was delivered to the device successfully. This ends the video, which discusses the installation of the enhanced engagement demo application and also shows you the monitoring of those geo boundaries. For more information about the geo boundaries and the geo boundary monitoring, please refer to the engagement API that is on docs.coney.com. Thank you.